keyword, and this is your Dickman Farms Smart Gardening Tip. And all things, manner of things, are starting to show up right now, which include anything from chlorosis, which you can see here exampled by these two different flocks that I have. This one is light yellow in color, and this one is nice and dark green. And this dark green is what it should look like. This light green is the incorrect color, and we can thank that to nutrient leaching as a result of all this lovely rain we've had. We love rain, but sometimes, here's another example on an annual plant, sometimes our plants can't keep up. They don't have the nutrients that they need with all of this rain. So one of the things that you can do right now to help you color up in the landscape is use something like this iron tone right in the gardens, and that will help you with your in-ground plants. In plants that you have in your annuals, you can use something like this Jack's Petunia feed. Petunias do sometimes get a little chlorotic in summer. This is a great time this will feed them and get them back to the colors that they normally should be. The other thing that you can do this time of year is also just a general good feeding. Like we said, it's rained a lot, and all of that rain is like you going for a run, and you're just running and running and running, but you never eat anything. So you need to eat, you need to drink, but if you just drink water, you don't replace your energy. So you want to replace the plant's energy. This time of year, it's a good time to do that. And all of that water we've had will help it get down into the root systems. The other thing that we're seeing with all this rain and humid weather is we're starting to see some diseases. Now there's some very common ones that get all over all sorts of plants, but one of the very good examples is here on my left. It's called powdery mildew. It's called powdery mildew because it looks like confectioner's sugar. It's powdery. And it can be a pretty major disease on plants. And so this powder, it's better if you can do it curatively, or preventatively. But if you can't, you still want to treat this plant. You'll see it on things like lilacs. This is a dahlia, for instance. And we have a couple things that you can use here. This is a naturally occurring, this is Serenade that you can use. It's sprayed on the leaves. And we have something else here. This is Infuse as one of the examples. It's a systemic, meaning it gets in the system of the plant and works from the inside out. And they'll both tell you how to use them and what to use them on and the interval at which you should treat them. So if you just have disease, you might see some on, maybe a rose might get a spot or a blot, and if it's not too bad, don't worry about it. But if it starts to cover the plant, you want to get after it. But if you just have disease, you can use just disease control. The other things, however, that show up this time of year, and this is an example, these are aphids here. The cool thing about this particular example is all of these little tan guys, they've been parasitized. There is a naturally occurring wasp out there, and he's taking care of this aphid population. We only have about one live good aphid on this whole leaf here, so yay Mother Nature. But we're going to see some other bugs out there, and I have here that you can check out. See all this stipple damage? That's caused by a little bug called a lace bug, and they show up this time of year. They get on all sorts of stuff. That's these little gray guys that you see right here. That's a lace bug because they look lacy. We especially see them on our evergreen Pieris or Andromedas that you have out there, so we're going to want to pay attention to how heavy that is, a population. This is the leaf from a columbine. Now, it doesn't look too bad, but this is the time of year when people come in here and go, my columbine leaves have just disappeared. There's nothing eating them. I can't see it. And there actually is somebody. Let's see if we can find him. I had him here. All right, well, he's crawled. Oh, no, there he is. Hard for me to see. You see this little green guy? That's the guy that's going to eat and possibly defoliate all of my columbine. So there's a couple guys out there that are hiding on you. This is columbine. There's the flower for it. So if you're not used to it, that's another. And finally, the last couple buggies that we see this time of year, we get spittle bugs because they live in this spit. There's the bug right there who's causing all the trouble. There he goes. We get this. This was from four-line plant bug. They're very distinct. They look like little stipples. And last but not least, you'll start to see somebody eating your roses. And here's another type of caterpillar here. So I show you all of these because there's some bad bugs out there that are starting to take over and eat some things in our gardens. Now, that said, we have some good guys out there for us. We have a ladybug. There's a nice bright red little ladybug here. And in this jar, I have a little baby to show you guys. These are very helpful out in the universe. They're from our landscape. Here's a baby toad. So this little baby toad's going to eat a lot of us. well, not a lot of us, a lot of our little bad buggies for us, and we'll let him go in a minute. But if you do find that you're having more insects and they're sort of getting ahead of your predators that are out there naturally occurring, you might need to treat for them. So here's a natural, and this is Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew. It'll tell you what it's used on, including things like vegetables and berries, so that's a good one, and it'll tell you on the back how to use it. So if you have a thing, so roses anymore, they've come out with fantastic roses, but occasionally you get something that might have a little disease and maybe there's a caterpillar. You can use, if you just have bugs, you use this. But if you have a little bit of disease and a little bit of buggies, you might try something like this. Again, this is a natural. This is neem oil. It's a fungicide, a miticide, and an insecticide. So just make sure you're using the right product for the right critter. So until we see you again, we hope this has helped. If you have any questions, please come in and see us. We're more than willing to help you. And until then, happy gardening.